On this video, I am going to show you how I was able to generate 10,000 leads in 2023 and how you can do the same for you and your business. I'm going to walk you step by step on what it was that I did to start running my first paid ads and start generating results. If you don't know me, my name is Carlos Morilla. I am the founder of the business community Young Sharks, and I also have a partnership with the original shark from Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington himself. Now, enough of the fancy words. Why don't we just go into it and you see exactly what I did for the whole year and how I was able to generate 10,000 leads and 3,000 sales calls.
So here we are. This is actually my Facebook ad account, and this is the report for basically all time, and I can show you last year. And the reason I want to show you this is so that you see that I am not just blowing smoke. I'm not just another guy trying to do YouTube videos. I actually want to give you practical advice on stuff that I did for my own business. It's not that I just do it for clients. I also do it for myself. In 2023, well, in all the time since I started running ads, which is mostly a little bit of 2022, most of 2023, and a little bit of this year, 2024. So I've spent about $53,000 on Facebook ads, generated 9,340 leads. This is not counting leads that are generated on the website. This is not counting leads that come in through the sources where Facebook can track it, but it is a good estimate and it is very close. And this is actually more important because this is the amount of appointments that we were able to book last year. So it's 2,424. Those are appointments that Facebook tracked. We actually booked over 3,000 of them. And this is the amount of purchases that we got. The Facebook also was able to track. So at least 255. We actually did over 700 sales last year, but it doesn't all feed back into Facebook. It's a long story. I don't want to get into it, but nevertheless, I also want to show you my ad account so that you see how many campaigns I have, and I'm going to walk you through the process of exactly what I did. But as you can see, I've ran a lot of different campaigns. Not everything has been to generate leads for Young Sharks. There's been a lot of campaigns that I've done to promote events, to get leads for events, stuff that I really want to cover in my YouTube channel, and maybe you can also get some value from that. But, you know, not as many as you would think. I'm going to show you through the process. There's a order to the madness here. But you can see, you know, all of these campaigns for the most part are generating leads. I usually turn them off, make iterations, and then republish. You know, I really would love to go into all of the CTR, what all of these metrics and KPIs are when it comes to ads, but it's going to be on another video. So the first thing that I did was I launched an instant form campaign. So what those are is basically someone sees a video on Facebook or Instagram and they click on it, and instead of taking them to a landing page, you take them to an instant form right on Facebook. So people give you their information right within the platform. Now, why would you want to do this? Well, reason number one is that since Apple and Facebook had the whole falling out with iOS 14, it's really hard for Facebook nowadays to track all of the conversions, all of the leads that are coming through a website or external source. And the thing is, a lot of the clients that I've worked with, and even myself, I don't like to start my ads with a super high budget, because I've noticed that when you give Facebook a really high budget from the get-go, you are basically like mistraining them, you know? So I like to start low and then scale as fast as I can. So by having people fill out the form directly on the platform, there is no loss of data. So Facebook is able to optimize the ads to generate more leads. Now, this is important because if you have a lower budget, or if you're just starting out, you need to train your ad account. You need to let the algorithm figure out who is right for your message, you know, for your ads, who is a customer that is willing to fill out the form. My first goal on any new campaign is always to just prove the concept. Are there people in this world that are interested in what I'm offering on my ads, and are they willing to give me their information? All right, that's the first step in the marketing process. I am not concerned about getting sales or anything else other than, can I get people to fill out a simple form? Then we will build up, and I'm going to show you in a minute. Now, back to my story. I launched a lead ad, and within seconds, I started generating leads, thank God. And those leads were actually coming for about $4 to $5. So every time I spend $4 or $5, I will get one lead, and then 25 to 30% of those were actually booking a sales sales call with me and my team. Now, the way I was able to do that is when you create your instant form, at the end, Facebook is going to say, it's going to have a review screen, and in there you can put a link to your website. But I wouldn't just do your website. I would actually put a link where you can send someone to either a funnel or a Calendly book link, a calendar, whatever you use for your calendar. You want to take people there so that they can book sales calls with you. So let's say your budget is $50 a day. You're getting leads for about $5. And look, I'm going to be very straight up and very honest with you. These are not going to be the highest quality leads. But again, we're doing this at the beginning to prove the concept, to see which of the ads that we have are getting the most leads, because that was critical in me being able to scale my business. I want to send them to the calendar so that they can actually book the call with you, and you put that at the end of the form. Of the 30%, so again, we're generating leads, $5 per lead. Let's say the budget is 50. That's like 8-10 leads a day. 30% of them are booking calls, which means we're getting about 3 calls every single day. Now, here's where the caveat is. The show rate is super important. And with these quality of leads, I was only getting about 30% to maybe at most 50% of those leads to actually show up on the sales call. And then of those, we would close about 30 to 40, 50% of them. And by the way, this was for a lower ticket item, more around like $300 to $500, not anything in the thousands, which it's a whole story for another day. I have a whole video on the stuff that I learned with selling low ticket versus high ticket. But anyways, you only want to do this for a limited amount of time. Just get a couple leads, like maybe 100, 200 leads. Try to get at least one sale from this. Because, okay, these are not going to be your highest quality leads, but there are buyers within this. And what this is also going to do is that it's going to force you to really look at your sales process. Are you able to handle volume? Are you able to call new leads? What about your email sequences? Because if you're generating 10 leads a day, that is 70 leads a week, all right? You're most likely not going to be able to call every single one of these leads. You're probably going to fall behind. I've never had a client that is so diligent that they call every single lead as soon as they come in. It's only the clients that have a sales team and a process, and it's their job to literally call the leads as soon as they come in. But it doesn't happen very often. And even in those cases, a lot of clients, they leave a lot of money on the table and they wait 3 days to reach out to leads. So it'll definitely help you improve your back end by bringing actual people in. There's nothing better than figure stuff out in action when there's data and there's, volume coming in. Now, the second thing that I did was that I actually created a funnel. So now I moved away from sending leads to a Facebook instant form where they do not learn anything about my brand. They don't see any of my branding. They don't see any of my messaging. All they see is just a form and a little bit of information. So I actually created a funnel, made it real nice, sent all of the traffic to the funnel instead of the instant form. So now at this stage, we are running what's called a website leads campaign. So if you're on Facebook, if you go to create new campaign, for the objective, you're going to choose leads, but for the optimization at the ad set level, you're going to choose website leads. And you're going to then give Facebook the URL of your funnel or landing page or website, wherever you're sending them, which I definitely recommend that you get a funnel with something like ClickFunnels or Go High Level. And now you can see that my cost per lead went higher. So going back to my initial story, if my budget at the beginning was, let's say, $30 a day, I didn't have any proof of concept, no sales yet. I didn't have a lot of money to invest into my business, so I'm running on $20, $30 a day. And imagine if I'm only generating 1 lead per day, right? If it's a $20 lead that day and I'm only generating 1 or 2 instead of 10. The problem with that is I'm talking to less people. The odds of someone picking up the phone when you first call them are very low. So I'm not a big proponent of going for quality with a low budget from the get-go. Now, I've had clients who have started out at, hey, Carlos, my budget for the month is $10,000, and we start at $100 or $200 a day. Yes, that is enough budget where you can go straight into a funnel. But even then, guys, I actually prefer to start with instant forms, because instant forms is the best way for me to test the creatives themselves. Like, what is the video that is able to generate the most leads? And then when I have a winning ad, I send them over to a funnel, because if not, if you have a brand new ad account and you're trying to go for super high quality, you're sending people to the website, there's a lot of data being lost in between the website and Facebook. There's so many variables in there. Even if you have a high budget, you're testing so many variables at the same time that it's going to be really hard for you to isolate any one of the variables and see, okay, what is not working? Because if you're spending $200 a day, and let's say you're only getting one lead, that's $200 cost per lead. You don't know if it's the funnel, you don't know if it's the ad account. And yes, there's ways that experienced guys like myself can identify what is the problem, but it's just a lot easier for me to get volume at the beginning, find a winning ad, winning headlines, winning angle, and then go for quality. So that's what I did over here. After I created the funnel, my cost per lead went higher, but my quality went through the roof. Like, it was definitely a lot higher quality lead, because obviously now they're reading a landing page, they're filling out a form, they're on my website, their trust is higher, it's completely different. Now 40% of those leads actually scheduled a call with me, so the booking rate actually went higher, and more important, the show rate also went higher. So we had 50%, around 50, 55, 45% were showing up on the sales calls. I've never really been able to get at anything higher than that. It's a big problem in the industry when you're running ads to get sales calls. Look, guys, you're going to have a crap ton of people not show up to your sales calls. It sucks because you're paying for those leads, you're paying for those sales calls. People don't understand it, but it happens. And you need to be able to be have a business that's strong enough to be able to support that. Because for example, in my case, since I was selling a lower ticket item and half of my calls were not showing up, I was actually breaking even. I wasn't really making a lot of money with this, but I was really making my money on the back end. 50% of those people were showing up on the sales calls. Since they were a little bit more educated, a lot higher percentage of them were actually closing as well. So now we were closing about 50% of those people that showed up. From lead to closing, I was able to get about 15%. So I would close about 15% of all the leads that would come in, which is a low percentage. And again, I don't have a huge business, so there's still a lot of stuff that I'm working on, like improving my email sequences, improving my text campaigns to convert a higher percentage of leads. But at least I have a marketing system and I have a funnel that is able to generate clients, generate leads, and I have a pipeline of stuff that I can work on, and I can always improve this. And this is a work in progress. Like this I started doing maybe 7 months ago. Now, the third step of the process for what I did was to now focus on sales calls. So I actually realized that, okay, we were generating so many leads, and we had, at this point, by the time I got to step 3, I had like 9,000 leads or something like that. Guys, we did not call every single one of those leads. All right, I've left $1 million on the table because these leads have gone cold at this point. But there's so many things on a business, and we were so focused on the sales calls that we actually had. We had a full booked calendar, and I had a couple sales reps, and we were taking those calls. Really hard for us to follow up with the other leads. Again, stuff that I've been able to figure out now, struggles that I've gone through. So again, you're learning here from someone who is in the trenches, actually doing this, who spent $50,000 on my own money last year on ads. So what I decided to do was, what if I don't generate any leads at all? What if there is no form and I just send people to the funnel? If they want to book the sales call, they can then click on the button to schedule a call, take them to a calendar, and they can schedule the call right there. And it really allowed us to focus on our process, on closing more and raising our prices and focusing on those sales calls. In here on step 3, I'm not telling Facebook to get me leads. I'm telling Facebook, here is $50 to $100 a day. Get me appointments. I don't care about leads. I want you to give me appointments. Actually, I was able to generate appointments for about $30 each. Now, going back, I've actually re-implemented having the form because, okay, a funnel is multiple steps. So it's like, let's say 3 websites, step 1, step 2, step 3. If you don't have a form to opt people in on step one and then take them to step two, you're really not able to know how well your first step of the funnel is converting. So I decided to put the opt-in back in place so I could have some data on, because I like to split test a lot. So I'm constantly changing my headlines, changing colors, changing this, changing that to see what's working, what's not working. So without an opt-in form at the first step of the funnel, it's really hard to do that. By having the opt-in now, we actually get leads. But the problem with why I didn't want to have the opt-in and I only wanted to take people straight into the sales call is that there is a lot of drop-off. So if you take someone to, let's say, a funnel, and then you have an opt-in form, you're going to have, so at least my funnel gets about 10% of the traffic that comes in becomes a lead, and then there's a drop-off from lead to book calls because you're just adding friction in there. And a lot of guys, you would argue like, hey, the more friction there is, the higher the quality of the lead, and that is 100% true. But in my case, and someone cannot just book a call with me. If you go to my calendar, you need to fill out like 15 questions, 10, 15 questions, and I'm asking you everything because I don't want anybody to just book a call. I want high quality prospects. And once someone does book the call, I know that they're a very high quality lead for me. So wouldn't I want more people to see my calendar and actually book the call? So that's why I got rid of any friction that I could have potentially had. I just wanted people to look at a video, look at my funnel, click on it, go to the landing page, and then just book the call. There's no friction there. I just want you to see the message and book a sales call and then potentially buy. So there it is. I hope that gave you some value and it showed some light on what a true business owner did to generate 10,000 leads. As you see, all I did was spend $50,000. But I hope you watched the video and that was helpful to you. That whole process took me about a year, so it wasn't all overnight. Don't get frustrated if you're running ads and not generating leads, or if you're running them and maybe you're not getting the results that you want. It's not as easy, guys. Just like how building a business is not easy. If not, all of us will be millionaires. You need to be patient. You need to be willing to spend money. And if ads are not the thing that you are comfortable with, then you just need to hire someone else. There's stuff in my business that I am not the best at, and I need to hire other people. Please consider subscribing. I am trying to get this YouTube channel launched and provide some real good value out there for people. I see a lot of coaches and gurus, like everybody's teaching something different. This is just what worked for me, and I'm keeping it very real, showing you my actual ad account, showing you my actual stuff. I got nothing to hide. You can buy from me. You don't need to buy from me. I don't care, honestly. But if you are looking for someone to maybe run your ads, or if you need a new CRM and you would like to have, a system and have someone that comes into your business, partners up with you, and actually installs everything that he knows, that I might be your guy. But again, I might not. It's up to you. Also, I have the Young Sharks community. I would love it if you were to join. If you're a business owner and you would like to network, learn from other folks, we have courses. I actually have a partnership with the original Shark from Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington, and we give you 3 of his courses. We have a lot of really cool events, trainings, and all the stuff. So again, don't want to give you a sales pitch. I just want you to consider working with me if you are in the marketplace for a new networking group, or for someone to maybe run your ads. And I'll see you on the next video. I wish you all of the best luck. So take care. Bye bye. Bye bye.